Today we lost a musical icon and a pioneer of recording artistry. Today I'm going to bring you 5 fantastic facts about the genius of Sir George Martin. George Martin grew up studying classical music and was actually a very accomplished piano player. He even recorded the keyboards on most of the Beatles recordings. People consider him the 5th Beatle. No, not Clarence, George Martin. Interestingly enough, when George Martin first met the Beatles, he was unimpressed with their songwriting. When he asked them if there was something they didn't like, George Harrison replied, "I don't like your tie," because he was a sassy little number. That George Harrison, Hare Krishna. Because George Martin was so well versed in classical music, he often arranged the orchestral music in the Beatles songs. He even suggested to Sir Paul McCartney to use a string quartet on that song Yesterday, and look how that turned out. He often challenged the conventions of recording and instrumentation by doing things like recording the piano and playing it back at twice the speed. You can hear that in the piano solo section of the song In My Life. It's often confused with a harpsichord, but it's just a piano, played back at twice the speed. Who knew? George Martin knew that too. Also, the beginning and the end of the song Strawberry Fields Forever is 2 different takes that George Martin spliced together. They were originally recorded in 2 different keys, so he had to speed one up and slow the other one down before joining them. That guy was pretty smart, if you ask me. Cranberry sauce. I buried Paul. Albums like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band would not exist were it not for the ingenuity and creativity of people like George Martin and the Beatles and a whole lot of LSD. I'm just saying. Finally, George Martin produced the album Love with his son Giles. It was originally supposed to be the music for the Cirque du Soleil Vegas show, but they decided to release it as an album. George Martin was in his 80s at the time, and he couldn't really hear very well, so he used his son Giles as his ears and actually worked out most of the music and arrangements in his head. It's because he's a genius. The likes of him will not be seen again for a very long time. Tell me your favorite George Martin or Beatles related story in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. And remember, all you need is love.